Hi, this is James Kong, and I want to welcome you all to the Pharmacy Leaders Podcast. Today, we have Paarth Dodia, a first-year medical student at the William Carey University College of Osteopathic Medicine. As a full disclaimer, Paarth is my own personal partner in our new venture, the Healthcare Scholar magazine, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. Paarth, welcome to the Pharmacy Leaders Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we don't have many people on this podcast that are coming from a medical background, so it'll be very unique talking to you. So, just a little bit about yourself, starting with your undergrad, tell us a little bit about your road to medical school and what brought you to where you are today.
So I attended undergrad at UT Dallas, and I didn't always exactly focus on school, even though I knew I always wanted to go to medical school. So the first time when I applied, it kind of showed on my application that I hadn't been focusing on school, so I didn't actually get in my first time around. Um, so I ended up applying and attending a specialized master's program at the University of North Texas Health Science Center. And the second time I applied, after having that extra experience and proving that I can kind of handle some rigorous courses, I was accepted to the William Carey University College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Okay, so a little bit of a roundabout way, but I think it's something that a lot of us can really relate to. It's not everyone is able to get into their dream school or accomplish whatever they want, their goals the very first time, and so the dedication you showed really paid off in the end. So could you, since we're on a leadership podcast, could you talk a little bit about your personal leadership background and how important the idea of leadership is in the medical field as a whole?
So the only prior leadership experience I had before coming to medical school was I was captain of a dance team. Um,
Oh, okay.
And when I came to medical school, I ran for and was elected class president, which has had a whole host of things going on there. But I think one of the most interesting experiences or opportunities I had was um, our student government president could not attend a certain conference that all the student government presidents for medical schools go to. So I was asked to kind of sub in at this conference, and the topic at this conference was something that I think uh, is going to be really important. It is really important nowadays. It was about mental health and mental health awareness within the healthcare professions, within the medical communities. There's a stigma on it. You're almost looked down upon, even though we'll treat people who have it, but then if you have it, that's an issue. And so meeting all the different student government presidents from the different colleges of osteopathic medicine um, was a really eye-opening and engaging experience.
Yeah, that seems very valuable and time-worthy. I think mental health it's pervasive throughout our field as something that is not always very openly talked about, but I think more and more is being done about it, but there's still quite a lot of work to move forward in the area so that we can all be more open about it, especially as students, we're all under a lot of pressure, and then as practitioners, it's still a lot more pressure. So it's really cool to hear about some of the background experiences in the medical community. I'd be interested to hear more about the parallels and differences between, say, like pharmacy and medical school. How do you feel about the leadership environment as a whole in medical school?
So speaking just towards medical school, there's a certain skill set that is required to gain admission to medical school, and this skill set is not always conducive to creating great leaders. In order to get in, to get past the first screen, when you're applying to medical school, you need to have the stats to back it up. They'll look at your GPA and your standardized test scores. I'm sure you guys go through similar things applying to such competitive schools. Um, but the thing is, the people who get on are really talented, really driven, and have tons and tons of potential. But not everybody has had much experience or time to develop that potential. So people aren't always natural leaders in medical school, and people start at different levels, but I think everybody can have that seed of leadership developed over time as long as people practice towards it.
I completely agree with that as well. I think from the pharmacy school's perspective, going to pharmacy school at the University of Texas at Austin, leadership was always heavily emphasized, and it was kind of a do or die. Like pharmacy as a profession needs to grow and develop, and you need to be a leader to expand upon it. But at the same time, not everyone is a natural leader. I definitely personally did not start as one, and so it's something that everyone can develop over time, but you kind of need to be motivated into it, or like find something that you really love about it. So it seems that there are a lot of similarities in that, but then also some differences in exactly like the school structure and environment there. So since we have pharmacy and medical here, so I'm curious from the pharmacy side, how much pharmacology and therapeutics do you focus on in school?
So I'm still just a first year student, so I personally haven't had too much in that regard. It'll pop in intermittently throughout the entire first year for physiology, where we'll talk about the way certain medicines will work. But I think next year we're gonna have pharmacology, and that's when I'll be learning the brunt of it, and I'll be able to probably give a better answer then. But all I know right now is that we have two courses that are 8 credit hours that go through the entire year, and that's it in terms of discrete pharmacology.
Wow, so more or less two courses to drug therapy for your entire medical school didactic career. So the rest of it is coming from rotations?
Yeah. So my understanding is that a lot of the experience that we get during rotations is going to be informing us on how we should be prescribing and what we should be prescribing, which is very, very different from what I understand of pharmacy school. That's pretty much what y'all do. That's y'all's school. You put in so much time and effort to learn the intricate ins and out of every single drug, and we got two courses.
That's interesting, but I mean, we all have our specialties, so it kind of does make sense. Physicians are very focused on the diagnostic part, and that's where you guys really excel at. So, coming from the unique perspective that you have, to what extent do you feel that? So, how do you see physicians and pharmacists collaborating together under a shared outcomes model?
So I have my own thoughts and opinions on what the future is going to hold, and I think collaboration is going to need to be increased a lot more between pharmacists, physicians, and really just the entire healthcare team. Um, I think there's a huge emphasis or a huge trend towards the emphasis of interprofessionalism. And we do diagnose, and currently it seems like physicians do a lot of the prescribing as well. But maybe if we spend more time talking with pharmacists as another member of the healthcare team, and not, hey, I'm prescribing this, go pick it up from your pharmacist. More communication there, I think, could be really helpful, both for the patient and for healthcare overall.
Yeah, I think focusing on the strengths that we have and kind of breaking down the barriers in that sense would, I mean, it naturally leads to better outcomes, right? But there is a sort of cultural change that needs to occur for that to happen. Um, so for that to happen, I think it just comes down to exposure for the different professions. So how do you feel that medical schools in general currently, how well do you think that they cover working with other healthcare professions?
I think it's on the rise. I don't think it's to a level that it needs to be yet. I can't speak to all schools, but it's something that's really it's talked about a little bit at my school, but it isn't really implemented very much. So that's one thing I would personally like to try and push at my own school. But I think there's no harm really in having us exposed to all the other pieces of the healthcare team early on, so that we'll be an effective disease fighting squad sooner rather than later.
They sound like superheroes, an effective disease fighting squad.
Yeah, and instead of the Power Rangers would be the Pathology Rangers.
We should make a new team. So I mentioned this earlier, but you helped start the Healthcare Scholar magazine. So first, where can people find that, and what is it about?
The magazine can be found at thehealthcarescholar.com, and it's meant to serve as a platform for exposure. We wanted to create a website where students could write articles that would educate students of other healthcare professions about the things they go through, about their unique experiences, or just about things that they would want other healthcare professions to know. So it's completely student-led, student-driven, and most importantly, it's for students.
Okay, so what do you think the readers will get out of it? Someone who chooses to subscribe to it.
So first, I hope that they will just enjoy the articles. They're going to be both informational as well as entertaining. But career-wise, I think you can gain a deeper understanding of what it is that the other professions do and what they go through. Um, I think it'll make a student doctor a better potential physician, a student pharmacist a better potential pharmacist. All the way around, nurses, PA, PT.
So, where are the articles coming from? Who's writing it?
I think that's the best part. It's all students. It's your classmates. It's your peers in the other healthcare professions. It's anybody that wants to write an article to anybody else in the healthcare profession.
Okay, so it can be anyone who's in the healthcare area, not just student. But is there like a certain fit? Is there like anyone who'd be a good fit for writing an article for it?
Um, yeah. So anybody who just wants who has a unique story that they want to get out there. If they don't have any writing experience, or haven't ever written an article before, that's fine, because it's going to be a back and forth process. We'll work with them. We have editors. It won't come easy, because I'm sure a lot of us are more trained to digest textbooks and PowerPoints and then spit back either A, B, C, or D. But I think anybody who has that story inside them, or the message inside them that they want to get out, this is who that's for.
Okay, so it's for everybody, for all students that are interested in healthcare or in the healthcare field, and then anyone can reach out to write. How would they reach you
So
to?
yeah, on the website, thehealthcarescholar.com, you can contact us directly from there, both if you choose to subscribe, and we have a contact page. Or you can email us directly at admin@thehealthcarescholar.com.
Gotcha. So, as this comes to an end, is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to talk about?
So I just want to give a huge shout out to all the pharmacy students as well as pharmacists out there. I feel like physicians end up getting a lot of the credit for healthcare outcomes, but it's really a team effort. So that shout out, and then I also want to give a shout out to my parents. I wouldn't be where I am today without their unending support.
Okay. Always good to go back to mom and pop.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for all the listeners that joined us throughout this entire podcast. And hopefully, we will hear from you.